Hello nieces, hello nephews, it's your Uncle Charles here and welcome back to my YouTube channel where we do unbiased price action analysis. Hello nieces and nephews, welcome back to Uncle Charles' YouTube channel and the holy moly donut shop. I had to say that 3 times because the SPY had a gap down, gap and crap. This is looking like an exhaustion gap and that's a bearish one if you ask me. Exhaustion gap, for those who don't know about an exhaustion gap, is when, like, we'll say the trend is bullish, and then, the bulls, the buyers, they start getting tired, hence the word exhaustion gap. They're getting exhausted, and what happens? We get a gap down, get a little gap and crap. It's usually a sign that a potential top is in. But like always, guys, we got to pay attention to the price action and know the scenarios so that we can be ready for anything, because it is, this exhaustion gap is looking bearish. Definitely was selling pressure intraday as well. Now, had a few of you guys been telling me, Uncle, you need to take a look at IWM. You haven't been covering it. You need to take a look at it. Well, I've taken a look at it, guys, and I'm zoomed out here. While SPY had an exhaustion gap, look what IWM was doing. It hit a critical resistant level, which was a fib level around 226.7-ish, and boy, did it get a strong rejection. All right, there's a big, nice rejection there. Oh, look at that big body green candle. Big body green candle followed by this type of candle, some type of, what is that? I don't even know. A hangman, doji candle. I don't even know my candles right now, but all I know is when I see something like that, this tells me this is like a take a break type of day, take a break type of day. And I think of an evening star pattern, or I think of one of those other trend continuation patterns. Can go either way, all right? It can go either way. Now, I'll talk more about IWM towards the end of the video. Stay tuned for that. That was a viewer's request right there. If you guys got a request, comment below. I might pick yours and I might cover yours, okay? Now, back to this exhaustion gap. Bulls tired? You guys tired, Bulls? You guys been having fun all year, you know what I mean? You guys tired now? Exhaustion gap. I tell you this, guys. 557 is still one of my fib levels. We lost it today, actually. We lost it by a few cents. It is gapping up a little bit in the aftermarket, but, the most important price action is during the trading hours, because that's where the most volume is at. Speaking of volume, it's increasing a bit here, guys. The volume is increasing. Holy moly donut shop. I tell you this, to stay bearish, we got to maintain that breakdown of 557. All right, 557. And absolutely, we must break down 555.3. That is a macro level fib level. Macro level fib level. Break it down. We are bearish. I think we can see in the smaller time frame around that 555.3-ish level. You guys can see it served as a buy zone like last week, which led to a nice upside. So if lost, I mean, it's gonna just try to serve as a buy zone again, but if it's lost, guys, gonna get bearish up in here. It's gonna get nasty bearish. Now, if this is one of those bear traps, cool down the RSI and it's a bear trap, because a lot of people are excited. I'm excited. If this is a bear trap, once again, guys, what do we look for when bottoms are potentially in? We look for recaptures of lost levels. We lost a lot of levels today, okay? Good amount of levels we lost. 557 is the first, and if we get gap back above it, it needs to, it needs to prove itself as support, or it just go ahead and clear the next resistance level, which is at 558.5 and 560. That's what I have. 560 served as a strong resistance level today. Definitely got selling pressure around that zone. Got to clear it, though. 558.5 and 560 to put 561.5, 563.5, and all-time highs at 565-ish back in play. Bulls, we need the false breakdown setup to trigger those calls or those longs. Otherwise, this exhaustion gap and these breakdowns of support that we had intraday with the increase in volume, it might not be a good sign for us. And as a matter of fact, technically speaking, before we get too angry here, we are overall in a bull trend. You know, we are overall in a bull trend, as you guys can see. So a pullback would be very healthy and in the long run lead to bigger moves to the upside. Okay, so we got, let the bears have it. Give them bragging rights. Let them be happy. All right, because it looks like the bulls are exhausted. The buyers are exhausted. Gotta let them rest, reset. All right, so everybody wins in the long run. Think about it. Okay, so one more time. Loss of 557 and 555.3 would be bearish continuation. The RSI is not oversold. So there's definitely strength to head down lower. And if we lose those levels bearish, I would be favoring 550. Remember, we had double top. We had double top there, double top there, and we cleared it there. So we go for the back test as a support. That's pretty healthy. And it would be a beautiful move to the downside. That's all the way at 550. And it would be possible if we break down 557 and 555.3. If it matches our criteria, all we got to do is react unbiasedly. Triple Q. Oh my goodness. Holy moly. Woo. Look at that. Had that big sell-off that we had back in July 11th. We had a few bounces. Okay, we broke down that fight. We cleared 500 back on Wednesday, July 10th. Broke it down. False breakout setup. Back tested earlier this week. We back tested as a resistance. Bulls couldn't clear. And look at this beautiful exhaustion gap, right? It was beautiful exhaustion gap. And then it continued down when it broke down 488 and my 486.8 level. And holy moly. Bears, I hope you guys capitalized on today's move. That's a beautiful move. Now, will there be continuation? Possible. If we break down more support levels, I got next support level at 481.8 and 480. If those levels fail, 478.8, 477 and 475 and 473.8 will all be in play to the downside. Retrust, no bounce unless we recapture some lost levels. Now, what was the levels we lost today that was so darn important? Well, we had a fib level at 484. All right, recapture that level would be a good start for the bulls. And then I got a level at 485.5 and 487. 487 be the next fib level as well. Recapture those levels, and then maybe I would favor some type of bounce, maybe a relief bounce, because this is a nasty drop that we had today. Otherwise, we lose 41.8 and 480, then holy moly, hold on to your horses, hold on to your shorts, because we're heading down lower. All right, Tesla. Not as much of a beautiful move on Tesla, okay? But we got to pay attention to the price action. As you guys can see here, we had that big sell-off July 11th. Same time, Triple Q had that big sell-off, that big rejection from there. You know, the last few days, we tried to back test that resistance around 265. Couldn't quite break it down. Today now, we have an inside candle setup. That means these inside candle setup usually is a sign of choppiness. All right, but we got the range, and once we break the range, we'll get that next trend move. Now, bottom of the range is at 245.8. I got a support at 248 and 245.8. If these levels fail, especially below 245.8, I'd be bearish down to 244, 242, 240, and possibly all the way down to 238. All right, to be bullish, top of the range is all the way at 258.6. So bulls got their work cut out for them. They got a lot of work they need to do. Tesla's around 248 right now. That means they need to clear 250, 252, 254, 256, and 250. Oh, that's a lot of levels, guys. The point is, you got to clear some resistant levels. All right? Add those levels to your charts. But the main level that needs to clear is all the way up at 258.6. If that level clears, I would be bull bias and favor another retest all the way up to 265. Maybe higher this time for the Tesla. And here is NVDA. Beautiful. Beautiful gap down, followed by more selling intraday. And look at this, guys. Remember the triangle pattern that I told you guys about? We broke that down, broke down 120. Close once again right around that 118 buy zone. I'm telling you guys right now, if we lose 118, I am bearish on NVDA. And this high that we had back in July 11th looks like it was. Looks like it was a lower high. And if we got that lower high, chances are we're going for that lower low. So if we lose 118 and 116, then down the drain she goes. We got so many gaps that need to get filled for the NVDA. Is it possible? Is it possible? I will trust no bounce unless 120 is recaptured, get us back inside the triangle, and then maybe I'll favor a bounce because we're getting a false breakdown setup. Just be open-minded, guys. Don't be too excited. Stay level-headed. We don't run on happy emotions. We don't run on sad emotions. We run on discipline. Bah! Now, let's move on to IWM. Before we get to the dog pool, take a look at IWM, okay? Big body green candle followed by some type of doji, whatever that's called, hangman, whatever. But we rejected the main important thing, okay? The main important thing. The main takeaway is that we rejected from that 78.6 point, that 0.786 fib level. Not only that, the move up to that level is pretty steep. So chances are we're gonna get a pullback, a nice pullback. And if we do get a pullback, the level that I need to see fill are 221.6 and 220. If those levels fail, we got a whole lot of gaps that need to get filled to the downside, starting with 217. We got one all the way down to 213. Heck, we got all the way down one that's all the way down to 211-ish. Lots of gaps that need to get filled, but those support levels must fail. 221.6 and 220. All right, if we bounce or consolidate, that's possible. But if the plant is to the upside, then the level that needs to clear are 223, 225, and especially 226.7-ish. If those levels clear, then more upside is possible. There is still a gap around 228.5-ish. We'll see if that gets filled. All right, now let's move on to the dog pool levels. Okay, we got SPY here, 564.84. Okay, I thought a lot of people know this, but I try to tell everybody now, and I told people yesterday that these are 24 hours. These data comes in 24 hours after it's been done. Okay, guys, so now you guys know, right? So 564.84, $3 billion in premium. These mother market makers, they knew something, man, because look at where we closed yesterday on Tuesday. Right around 564.86, right there. And then the dot pool level, 564.84. Holy moly. You know, in order for there to be a buyer, there has to be some sellers and vice versa. Okay? So I'm thinking big money, I can't help but think but big money were the ones selling, and we, the retail traders, just bought into it. And look at this big old gap down that we got today. Holy moly, that's just too accurate, man. Anyways, guys, remember the price action plan I give to you guys, okay? Let's take a look at triple Qs. 496.38. Amazing. Tesla 248.5. Okay. And NVDA, we got it at 117.99. I got a strong buy zone at 118. I've been talking to you guys about that level for a while. And now we see that they're getting busy around that buy zone. 117.99. Question is, are they selling or are they buying more? We'll find out the answers tomorrow. Okay? Follow the levels and setups. Okay? We lose 118, bearish. If we get above 118, we capture 120, bullish. Now we got some dog pool levels to back us up, right? And let's take a look at IWM since I covered it today. 224.48. All right? Let's hope it doesn't malfunction today. We're going to take a look at the flows. Filter it for 100K premiums or above. And it is bearish. All right? Triple Q is bearish. They're agreeing. No divergence in the flows today. Tesla is bullish. NVDA is bullish. These guys are always bullish. Yeah, you guys ever notice that? And IWM, let's see. IWM is bullish. Hey guys, that's what it's showing me. A lot above the ask for puts though. You guys see that? For expiration date in August. Sweeps, very aggressive. And then the call, like this is above the ask for this call, but that's a split, not aggressive. And look, March 25th. Excuse me, March 21st, 2025. What are these hedges? Okay, so it's good. That's why, I'm telling you, I try to share the data with you guys, but it's good to have access to this because you take a deeper look at it and then you can see the context. Like what kind of contracts? Yeah, it says bullish, but what kind of contracts are being bought? You know what I mean? This is 230. This is sweep. 230 calls for August 16th. All right. So, yeah, there you go. It's overall bullish for IWM, guys. So, I hope you guys found value in this video. I really appreciate you guys for being here. Peace.